What's going on, YouTube Nation? I'm the Coffee Bean GM, and this is going to be a playlist series discussing how I do some preparation for a one-shot game. You could definitely use it for something like a campaign when you're prepping a scenario or something like, similar. But the whole goal here is I'm going to kind of go through step by step in short little, maybe 10-minute videos and show you, each step along the way of how I would get ready to run a one-shot game. Most of my games are run over at the One Shot group on Facebook. If you're not familiar with it, I suggest you jump over there, check it out. We run games there all the time. It's a great community. There's damn near over 7,000 people. Now, granted, like every other Facebook group, and not everybody is active, but it's definitely a great place to meet people, play games, and have a lot of fun. So, without me getting off on a tangent and rambling off in a different direction, let's get down to business here, huh? So this video specifically is going to be a little bit more about inspiration. Where do you get that inspiration from? How can you pull ideas from it? And what can you do with it? How do you make it your own? So I use three main things when I try to come up with inspiration. The first is the Internet Movie Database, or movies in general. I'll generally just hop on there and just browse. I can sit and browse the Internet Movie Database for hours, just reading about movies and comments and reviews. I get a kick out of a lot of the comments and people that troll around over there. But, the Internet Movie Database is a great source. The next one I get is Amazon, primarily in books. So pretty much any sort of website or company or whatever that has a lot of books for sale, and they show you the synopsis so you can read the back covers, things like that. Amazon is just a default one I usually go to, and again, I'll just browse through, start looking for books, and then click into other books, and click into other books, and keep reading until something catches my interest, and I'm able to kind of grab it and work with it. The last one that I often use is called the SCP Wiki. It's the SCP Foundation, and it's basically this website that has almost like a government secret agency sort of thing, and there's hundreds, probably even thousands of different pages on that website, and they're all going to be linked down below. But people come up with these stories about strange objects, strange creatures, paranormal activity, and all sorts of weird stuff that is being looked into, research contained. And a lot of it is only like partial, kind of like your top secret government agency forms and stuff. Some things will be whited out or blackened out, you won't be able to read, or it'll reference code words, things like that. So it's very imaginative when you kind of read through these things. Not everything is fully detailed for you. So as a GM, you're able to take that and start implementing it in your own ways and doing things that you want with it yourself. So it's a great little resource. So how do I use these? Well, let's take the Internet Movie Database, for example. Generally, when I come up with a game or something, I want something with a specific theme or genre, or something kind of focused. So let's say I'm trying to come up with something that is horror based. That's generally my niche that I really like to run. So I'll hop on there, think of a movie that I kind of want to get that feeling for. Let's say I'm trying to go with more of a grisly entrapment sort of horror, something like Saw. So I'll hop on the Internet Movie Database, go into Saw. Generally, I'll read through some of the different comments or reviews and things like that. But if you scroll down a little bit on the movie database, on the computer, I know it's a little bit different when you have like a phone and you're doing it, but it'll have links to other similar movies, and you can click into those. I generally like to look into movies that I haven't seen, be they big or not, or like independent films. Independent films are a great resource. There's a lot of really good movies out there that are independent, and they just don't get the exposure that they would in mainstream media. Where on the other hand, a lot of the stuff on the mainstream media is just total crap. But it's definitely one of those areas where you can just start reading the synopsises and the themes and reviews of these movies and start getting ideas. And you just keep hopping, down through. And hopefully something will kind of catch your eye and you'll be like, hey, that's really cool. It works really good when this is a movie you haven't seen, because as you read the synopsis or the overview of what the movie is, as a GM, you'll start to kind of formulate your own ideas and coming up with your own ways to present the story, but that's completely different from the movie. That way, the people who have seen the movie or something like that don't necessarily recognize it right away. At the same time, you can definitely take a movie and just completely rip it off and run it as a different game. I've seen Event Horizon ran as a fantasy type game, and I've seen some other odds and ends. I did The Wizard of Oz once. I did Alice in Wonderland, and they were both just complete rip-offs of the movie, but presented in a way that was a little more different and not easily recognized. So, like in my Alice in Wonderland, for example, you have Alice and she sees the White Rabbit run in and goes down through a hole. Instead, I had the players and they saw this. I guess necessarily like a homeless sort of guy down in the sewers where they were at. He had a rabbit mask that was kind of broken on, very big, beefy sort of fellow, dragging a body behind him, and he moved down the sewer and down into a sewer grate down through the hole. And that got them interested in, like, what the hell is going on here? And they went down the rabbit hole and started off the campaign. Or the adventure, for in that case. So, and you do the same thing with Amazon, Think of a book that you might like or something like that has that theme that you want, do a search for it, and then just start going from page to page to page and looking for something that catches your eye. And with the SCP Wiki, that's pretty much just a crapshoot. You just click into one of the pages. Usually they have, when you go onto the homepage, a link to the site, or sometimes it's not even on the homepage, but it'll have like the top rated SCPs for the month or the year or something like that, and just start clicking into them and click from one to another and give them a quick browse through. Usually there's a short sort of overview sort of thing at the top of the SCPs. It'll give you an idea what that one's about, and it'll generate some cool ideas. So I'm going to do that in between now and the next video. I'm going to kind of browse around a little bit, see what I find, and grab something. In the next video, we will kind of discuss what I chose, why I chose it, and what we're going to do with that. So to keep things a little more interesting, so we ain't just hopping from video to video, I decided to kind of do this almost like a vloggy, podcasty sort of thing. And, being a fan of music, I wanted to throw some music in here. So this playlist that you're going to have here will have some music interspersed in it, some music videos that can, get you amped up and get ready to work. So, as my sort of idea I wanted to go with this was to, drink some coffee here, put on some metal, and figure out what the hell we're going to do with it. So keep rolling those dice, browse the Amazon, browse the Internet Movie Database, browse SCP. There's many other sites out there you can pull inspiration from as well, but those are a great basis to grab something. Find something that fits the genre that you're looking for. Find a movie or a book or something that kind of takes that, and then start running with it. So, there's one last example before we head out here. If I wanted to run a game that was very action-oriented, I might look up the Expendables and then kind of go from there. Or one that was... I'm doing one that's coming up that's kind of more action-comedy-like. So when I was doing that one, I actually looked up Romancing the Stone and Big Trouble in Little China. Both had that kind of feeling that I wanted to go for. And then I just started browsing movies from there and just going down the line till something kind of clicked and, got my brain working. It's a great way to basically just get your brain working, get thinking, get inspired, and start putting stuff down onto paper. So just bear with me. Next video coming up, we're going to do a little bit more. We're going to dive into this a little bit deeper, and we'll get this done and figured out.